Arguably one of Doctor Who's most iconic villains is the Cybermen, and in today's video we're going to be speaking about how Doctor Who ruined the Cybermen. Before we get into today's video, I just want to say that this is my opinion and my opinion only. It's completely fine if you don't agree with my opinion, but this is what I think about the Cybermen as of recent. For this video specifically, we're going to be focusing on New Who. There's a lot of classic Cybermen stories which I think are really good and one day I want to get into, but I want to focus on how New Who has tainted the Cybermen. It's important to mention that amongst my negatives for the Cybermen of New Who, there are some great episodes featuring them. The Rise of the Cybermen 2-parter, The Well Enough in Time when the Doctor Falls, and most recently, Haunting of Villa Diodati are some of the best Cybermen stories in the show's history. My first big point on how Doctor Who has ruined the Cybermen is the fact they're used as second villains. They're used as second villains usually to the Master. Dark Water, Death in Heaven, Well Enough in Time, The Doctor Falls, and most recently The Whole Timeless Child arc have used the Cybermen as pawns of the Master, which is something I don't really like. The Cybermen have their own motives. They have evolved. That's what it is. It's pure evolution. They're not some big evil villain. They've just slowly evolved and got more and more corrupt, but they think they're doing the right thing by upgrading people. And that can definitely be easily manipulated by somebody like the Master, and that can definitely work. A great example of this is the Doctor Falls and Wild Enough in Time. That's why I'm more lenient on that story, is that the Cybermen rebel. The Cybermen start attacking the Master. His plan goes wrong, and they go rogue, and they evolve. And I really like that. But as of recent, I feel like they've used this concept too much, and they've got lazy with it. During the Timeless Child arc, they introduced the Lone Cyberman, something that was really interesting because they were building up and teasing it, and his first episode in The Haunting of Villa Diodati was genuinely great. This episode, which introduced Ashad the Lone Cyberman, was great. It was suspenseful. We didn't know the Cyberman was going to be here, and it made the episode great. And then they decided to ruin his characterization by making him the pawn of the Master. This character was genuinely interesting and had interesting motives.
Don't be afraid, little one. You will be like us.
Something else that they introduced with the Cybermen, which could have been genuinely interesting but they ruined, was the Cybermasters. The Master upgraded Time Lords and made the Cybermen regenerate, and it was a great concept. It was something that was brand new and was different. But again, it was basically underused and it felt quite cliche in the end.
Shoot him.
Shoot him! Good dog.
All dead. Wait. Could it be? Yes, it could.
I felt like the Cybermasters didn't really get enough attention because it was put during the Timeless Child arc, and it was something that could have genuinely been expanded on, but really wasn't. They just became, again, bog standard pawns of the Master, which is pretty disappointing for such an interesting concept. Another issue I have with the Cybermen at the moment is they're constantly used as a big bad for the end of the season. Gone are the regular episodes midway through a series. They are the big bad in every single season finale. It's either the Master, the Cybermen, the Master and the Cybermen, or the Daleks. Including cameos and full-on appearances, the Cybermen have appeared in the ending of Series 2, Series 5, Series 7, Series 8, Series 10, Series 12, and Series 13. The Cybermen feel incredibly overused, especially within season finales. There doesn't need to be a Cybermen cameo constantly, and this is the same issue a lot of people have with the Daleks as of recent. There is no excitement for when the Cybermen come back. People are expecting it every single series in some way, shape or form. There is no joy or excitement there is no shock, because you're constantly expecting to see the Cybermen appear at least once. Especially in the season finale or a near end of season episode. That's where you expect to see the Cybermen now. It's very rare that as of recent, you will see a Cyberman episode in the middle of the series. It just doesn't happen, and it's kind of sad. The Cybermen are some of the most interesting villains and characters in the show, but due to how overused they are, they've become boring and stale. They're not as interesting anymore, and the episodes and the stories they are telling are just flat out boring. The issues I've presented so far are issues that I personally believe can be resolved pretty easily. Not seeing the Cybermen for a couple of series, and not putting the Cybermen and the Master together are pretty easy things to accomplish, and I'm hoping the show can hold back on showing the Cybermen and at least showing the Cybermen and the Master together for a couple more series and not relying on them. I'd like to actually quickly compare New Who and Classic Who for a second, just to show you how overused they are. During Tom Baker's entire 7-year run, the 4th Doctor's run, the Cybermen appeared in one story, and the previous Doctor's run, John Pertwee as the 3rd Doctor, the Cybermen didn't even appear. For comparison, including cameos, the Cybermen have appeared in Modern Who in Series 2, Series 4, Series 5, Series 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. There is no need for all those cameos or appearances, and a lot of them are mediocre at best or bad. Due to how overused they are, and how when they are used, they're used poorly, the characterization and the threat of the Cybermen has been completely destroyed. The Cybermen aren't menacing, they're not interesting anymore, they're your bog standard villain. And it's kind of sad at how badly they're falling from grace. From this just incredibly dark and disturbing moment in Doctor Who, for any series really.
I'm so cold.
It's alright. You sleep now, Sally. Let's go to sleep. Sally Phelan didn't die for nothing. Because that's the key. The emotional inhibitor. If we could find the code behind it, the cancellation code, then feed it throughout the system into every Cyberman's head, they'd realise what they are.
And then compare it to this scene.
Be ready! Why isn't it working?
We long ago developed resistance to gold.
Run! Oh, run! Run! Oh, look at them!
I am personally of the view that the Cybermen shouldn't be taken as comedic characters. They should be taken seriously and be given serious roles. So when something like that is trying to be serious but comes across as comedic, it really rubs salt in the very, very open, painful wound. They're a character that's meant to send a message, meant to be scary, meant to frighten people, and when they're given something like that, it just doesn't feel right. In my opinion, however, there is no reason why the Cybermen can't come back stronger and better than ever. Give it a couple of series, give them a break, tease them, hype them up, make them a big bad maybe in the middle of a series, and they could be good again. They can be genuinely scary. Take it down a full horror route. Give them their own spin-off where you can make it adult themed. Do anything.
This. Craig, you wanted a chance to prove you're a dad. You are never going to get a better one than this.
What is happening?
What's happening, you metal moron? A baby is crying. And you better watch out, because guess what? Ha ha! Daddy's coming home!
So what do you think about this? Comment down below your opinions. Do you think the Cybermen have been ruined, or do you think they can be saved? And what would you do with the Cybermen? Thanks everyone for watching today's video. I've been your host Samuel, and keep watching.
Be reborn.